Yo, what's good everybody? So we have our pre-market analysis like always. Let's move everything towards not ready yet. Let's get started. So first pair we have is Euro JPY. Euro JPY looks good. You can honestly see we are still continuing this bullish trend due to price having the continuation break of these recent higher highs. Price in the next 2 hours and 17 minutes looks like it does want to give us another continuation break of these highs. If that is able to happen, you will see how the 4 hour will be going to establish the new break of structure, which it already did. So as you can see the 4 hour establishing this new break of structure, breaking past these new higher highs. What I would like to see is on the daily time frame, see a steeper move to, a stronger move towards the upside, and then look for that retracement on the daily time frame, tapping back towards that recent broken structure. This will then allow the 4 hour time frame to have the retest of the recent break of structure that can and will be established, and overall just having a cleaner setup. So right now we can just put this on waiting on the daily time frame. Next we have GBP USD. This is my this does look like a number one pair. You can see how price was bullish. Price then formed this left head and right shoulder, and we are now looking like we are confirming this head and shoulders pattern. Keep in mind, it is not a confirmed head and shoulders until you're able to break out of the neckline that was formed. So now, since price has broken out of this neckline, the only thing we want to do is wait for the daily time frame to have the pullback towards this zone. This will then allow the 4 hour time frame to overall have the retest of the recent break of structure. It is showing us around here. If we can have that, like always, we would then just wait for the 15-minute time frame like it's doing right now, going from bearish to then bullish, work its way towards this area of interest. Once price can get towards this area of interest, be patient, wait for the shift of structure, get in and route this trade back down towards the downside. So GBP USD also looks good. We're just waiting for the daily to have established the break of structure. Like I said, in the next 2 hours and 15 minutes, look like it wants to do so, and then just wait for the pullback. We're also going to put that on waiting on the daily. Next we have USD CAD. I was about to spell it out. You can obviously see how price is just forming the pullback towards this recent broken structure on the daily time frame. But as we drop down towards the 4 hour time frame, you can see how the 4 hour is just simply out of sync with the daily being in a bullish trend due to the recent breakout being here, right? So looking at that recent breakout, we can obviously tell that the 4 hour is now bullish, the daily is bearish, they're out of sync. We simply don't worry about it, so we can leave it be. Next we have NZD USD. You can see how price was in a bullish trend due to the recent breakout of these higher highs. We now are looking like price wants to establish the break of structure down towards the downside, breaking past these recent higher lows. If price can establish this break of structure, we simply wait for price to have that pullback on the daily time frame. This will allow the 4 hour time frame again to have the pullback towards this recent broken structure. I want to see price have a steeper move back down towards the downside, just having the daily time frame perform that clean break of structure, and then like you all can see, wait for price to form the pullback. Overall, having the pullback towards this recent broken structure on the 4 hour time frame, wait for the shift of structure on the 15-minute, and ride this trade. So NZD USD waiting on the daily time frame. Next, Euro NZD. Right now nothing is going on. We're going to simply wait for the breakout of these lows or of these higher highs. If the break of structure can happen from these lows, you can see how this will be having the continuation move towards the downside on the 4 hour time frame, breaking past this recent broken structure. We then wait for the pullback towards this recent area of support slash resistance, and then look for the shift of structure and continue to route that trade towards the downside. So right now we're waiting on a breakout, so we can leave this here. GBP NZD, same thing, waiting on a breakout. Price is just bouncing around. I'm not really interested. AUD USD, not really interested. Price is Yeah, it's not showing me anything good. AUD, NZD, same thing, waiting for the breakout, waiting for the breakout. You can see how price had a beautiful move towards the downside. Just, it sucks when it happens, but you can see how we got wicked out and then price had the continuation fall back down towards the downside. It happens, can't really do anything about it, but you live and you learn and you go on to the next day. So this was a really good trade, just we can't do anything about it. So Euro NZD, now we're waiting for the breakout of these higher lows or the breakout of these higher highs. Euro GBP, same thing, waiting for the breakout. Price is doing a lot of indecisive moving, so I'm not really going to try to catch anything in between. Same thing, waiting for the breakout. It's not looking like we're going to have many opportunities, but these three as of right now, because price is just simply in no man's land on a lot of these pairs. Waiting for the breakout, waiting for the breakout. Oh, we are now performing a breakout on USD JPY. You can see how price was forming this bearish move, and now price is looking like it wants to break out of these recent lower highs. In the next 2 hours and 11 minutes, if this can establish the break of structure of these highs around here, I will simply move this towards here, being my new higher low, since this is the last previous low point, to perform that break of structure. And if price can perform this break of structure, I will simply just wait for a deeper move towards the upside, allowing price to show me clean structure. And then as price forms the retracement, allow price to have that retracement back towards this recent broken structure. But overall, look for price to come back down towards our 4-hour zone, being here. How did I find this zone? This is just the higher high structure of price going from bearish to bullish, as you can see right here. And as price went from bearish to bullish, we performed the break of structure around here, breaking past these recent higher highs, also forming our new higher low point on the 4-hour time frame, being right here, due to this being the last recent low point that performed that break of structure. We will then just wait for the daily time frame to get back towards this 4-hour zone, where 1, we treated it as resistance, and then 2, treated it as support, showing more signs than just 2 rejections. Zooming out, you can see multiple rejections over here as well. So a well-respected zone, simply waiting for price to get back down towards this area. Once price can do that, wait for that shift of structure on the 15-minute time frame and ride this trade back towards our 4-hour highs, wherever that is established. So USD JPY does look good for trading opportunities. We can move this towards waiting on the daily time frame. Next, we have AUD CAD. This is still waiting for the breakout. Not really interested in AUD CAD. NZD CAD, same thing, waiting for the breakout. Not really anything going on. CAD JPY, CAD JPY recently just performed the breakout towards the upside. You can see how we were trending bearish, and then price had this bullish move back towards the upside, breaking out of these recent lower highs. On top of that, you can see how price has formed this inverse head and shoulders, having this left head and then right shoulder being here, now performing the breakout of this recent neckline. If I just move this over towards the right, you can then see how this is just clean structure. We simply just want to wait for the pullback towards the recent breakout of this neckline, wait for the shift of structure on the lower time frame, and then ride this trade back towards the upside. So this is a good looking trade for this week. Like we just talked about, allow this daily time frame once it can get established. One, we could see a bigger move towards the upside, again establishing cleaner structure, and wait for price to pull back, tap back into this recent broken structure, and then ultimately looking for price to tap back into the 4-hour structure zone, right? So looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see how we are in a bullish trend. We then had the breakout to then continue this bullish trend that took place around here, but the last recent structure we had on the 4-hour time frame is around here. So yes, we are looking at a bullish trend on the 4-hour time frame, but the last structure that we do have within the overall structure is around here. So I would then just look for price to have the ultimate retest back toward, well, pull back towards this recent break of structure. Again, you can see how we are treating it as resistance and support, and we are showing multiple signs of rejection. So a well-respected zone, and this 4-hour zone is also lining up with our daily zone as well, being here. So this does look pretty good. In the next 2 hours, if the daily candlestick can confirm this break of structure, we will simply move that line towards here, being the last recent low point that performed this break of structure. So CAD JPY also looks good. We can move this towards waiting on the daily. Next we have Euro CAD. Nothing is going on, simply waiting. GBP AUD, we're waiting. AUD JPY, we're waiting. NZD JPY, it looks like it's going to give us a break. It is a struggle break, so not really a lot of momentum happening, but if price does establish this break, we can then just move this towards here, being the last recent low point that performed this breakout. Going towards a 4 hour. The 4 hour also looks good. So the 4 hour is also in a bullish trend. And then the last recent structure zone we have will be around here. Even though the overall break happened here, the last structure is around here. So we then just look for price to have the pullback towards this area of interest. Once price can do that, look for that rejection and then continue to route this trade towards the upside. Again, treat it as resistance. As you all can see, multiple signs of rejection, a well-respected zone. So simply just waiting for the daily to perform the breaker structure. If we do see price pull back underneath this lower, well, is that the lower high? Yeah. If we do see price pull back underneath this lower high structure point, we will then simply move this back to being here and just wait for the breakout. But if price can establish this breakout, we'll remove this to here and go from there. So we can put this as of right now towards waiting on the daily just to see what happens. Next, AUD JPY, we have nothing, and nothing. So these are my top 6 pairs. We have GBP USD, which looks good. Looking for sales on GBP USD. Looking for the pullback towards that 4 hour zone, which is around here. Let's redraw that. Looking for the pullback towards this recent 4 hour zone, which looks amazing. This is probably my number one. This is our cleanest pair. Next, we have Euro JPY. Looking for buys. Just a cleaner move towards the upside, allowing price to show you a cleaner structure break and just overall just cleaner structure, right? And then wait for the pullback towards our zone, which we will be looking for the 4 hour to have the retracement towards this recent structure area being here. If I can draw it out, being here. So still waiting, still looks good. Everything is still developing. I do not see any opportunities probably until Wednesday night, so we'll just have to wait and see. But looking for buys on Euro JPY. NZD USD, we are looking for sales. Price is establishing the breakout. Looking for price to have the retest of that 4 hour zone. Next, we can actually put this at number 2 because that looks better than Euro JPY. Next, looking for buys on USD JPY. Waiting for daily to establish the breakout, then looking for the overall retracement back towards that 4 hour structure point. CAD JPY, same thing, looking for buys. Price does look like it wants to establish that breakout. Looking for the 4 hour pullback towards our structure and then the shift on the lower time frames. Yeah, everything looks good. I'm gonna put this one as my number 3, this one as my number 4. So we're looking at something like this. So GBP USD number 1, NZD USD number 2, CAD JPY number 3, USD JPY number 4, Euro JPY number 5, and then NZD JPY being our last pair. So good opportunities this week. Got to be patient, allow price to develop, and allow price to show us the shift to structure. We're not going to make that same mistake last week. Last week was just in a little rush and I wasn't patient enough, which I need to be, and we're going to be patient this week. We have a lot of opportunities, 6 opportunities within the market. Now we just got to allow the market to develop in order for us to capitalize. I do see GBP USD happening probably first, just because we have the overall left head right shoulder situation and price is now performing the breakout. Like inverse head and shoulders are probably my favorite thing to trade. You can see how price is now performing the breakout. Well, we're already performing the breakout here. You can see how price had the retracement and then now the continuation. Now really performing just a cleaner breakout overall, and then looking for the retracement and having that continuation. So it doesn't get easier than this. We're simply just waiting for price to form that retracement before we have the continuation, and we have to wait on the daily time frame to establish the breakout first. Once the daily establishes that breakout, wait for price on the daily time frame to form the retracement like we've done here, like we've done here, like we've done right here. Like just allow price to form that retracement before you look for a position. So GBP USD number 1, NZD number 2, this does look good. I do see these two happening first before anything else. We have this beauty because I put CAD JPY at number 3. Again, just being a inverse head and shoulder situation and price showing us the breakout right now. I will simply wait for the retracement before having the continuation. It does not, again, get easier than this. This is our number 1 pair to trade, well, number 3 pair to trade based off of just patterns alone. Price is showing us reversal patterns. Price is establishing these reversal patterns. Now we're just waiting for price to form the retracement before we have that continuation. So this is my number 3. Number 4, you know why. Number 5, you know why. Number 6, you know why. So good opportunities. Let's see what happens. Like always, updates will be posted.